What's up, guys? I'm making a video that I did not expect to be making. So first of all, nothing major. Well, nothing too major, I guess. Car still runs. Car mostly drives. I was at a drift event Sunday and I pressed the clutch in to initiate and go into second, and the clutch stayed to the floor. I was like, man, that's a bummer. I only got a few runs in today. Clutch hydraulics failed. Swapped the slave because I had a spare and that wasn't it. So I was like, all right, well, I gotta order a master. So I got my master in today and I put it in, and yeah, I didn't fix it. So I put a new slave in there and it still didn't fix it. And so I'm noticing the clutch fork is like not where it's supposed to be. It's a little too close to the pressure plate instead of being farther back. So the hydraulics are working, it's just that it's not pushing enough to really engage the clutch. So something has failed with the pressure plate, the throwout bearing, something has gone wrong, and now I get to take it all apart. So I don't like dropping transmissions on the ground. And I've made this thing easy enough to work on that I'm literally going to just pull the engine and trans out again. It's so simple. It's so simple. So that is the plan. I'm gonna start ripping and tearing in this, and I already took the drive shaft out and then I pushed it back so I have room for the cherry picker and stuff right here. So I'll get this thing back up in the air. Finish taking off the shifter and stuff, and then it's just onto the front, removing everything, and then we get to separate it and see what all is going on. So, you know, yay, drift cars, fun. But I have been using the car for a few events now and everything's been great. This car's so amazing. I love it. The PGS gearbox is money, like no issues with that. The dog box is a sick tool to have while drifting, but clutch issues kind of make that not a good, you know, what do? You know? So, as beautiful as it is, let's rip it apart. So, I got it all out. Supra is bare again. Bent the crap out of this because I'm an idiot, didn't disconnect it. But, engine out, trans apart. And we're right cooked here. The clutch has, there we go, greatly come apart, as we can see here. And when I was taking it apart, when it was still bolted up, the it's straight now, but the throwout bearing was super crooked. So I'm not sure if it was just clutch material buildup making it crooked, or if something broke in the pressure plate, but nice, I just washed my hands. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'll post this video as this, or if I wait until I get a new clutch, put it back together and throw it in. But alright, well, it's a week after the last clip. The Supra is still apart, but I got some stuff I'm pretty excited about. As we see here, a little bit of dual clutch or twin disc action. Got some OS. This is kind of overkill for my power level, but the disc material is just so much better for heat and clutch kick abuse and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I went with a twin disc. It's always, I mean, clutch is overkill, who cares? You could just make more power later without having to worry about this. And like I say, with everything holding up better to heat and abuse, I mean, this car gets abused. So let's install this. We got the Drift Motion internal slave hydraulic release bearing guy here. So we'll be learning together on how to put that together. It should be pretty simple. But yeah, so first step, I'm gonna pull this apart so that way obviously we can get the flywheel guy on, and then we will go from there. Alright, so just for fun, I don't have my old pressure plate, so I can't weigh everything, but I wanted to weigh the whole package side by side. So the clutch, flywheel, everything right there, we're at 34 pounds. So not too bad altogether. Like I say, I don't have all my other stuff. It's at work right now, so I'll weigh that as a comparison later. I think my old flywheel's 14 pounds. Actually, that's here. Hold on. So yeah, actually, the old clutch plate and the flywheel, 17 pounds altogether. Wow, I did not expect this to weigh 3 pounds. But it does. So I wonder what the pressure plate weighs, because it's heavy. And anyways, let's get this apart. Alright, so I went ahead and marked everything. So as you can see, this mark here lines up with the cage, and then I marked the internals right there. I also marked the splines, just so when it goes back together I can put it exactly how they sent it. I've heard it makes a difference. I'm not sure if it can go back together one way or not, but I'm just doing that to be safe. So now let's start taking this apart and see what she looks like. So there's the clutch cover. Then we have our first steel here. The first metallic clutch disc. Man, that is fancy. So I'm just laying it here exactly how it came out, and then I'll put it right back together how it came. The next steel. Then the next clutch disc. And boom. Now I just have the flywheel that I can bolt on. This came with shorter bolts. These aren't as thick, so you get shorter bolts with them. And yeah, so I guess, shoot, put it together, huh? Alright, so I got the flywheel on, and these bolts are actually torqued. I know you guys have seen my torquing before, but 75 foot-pounds with red Loctite, those babies shouldn't come loose. I also marked them. I don't know, it just seemed right. So now we get to put this back together in reverse order. I did get this clutch alignment tool with it, but I also have an input shaft from the old trans that I might use. We'll see how this goes first. Alright, so I have the clutch alignment tool through it. I've got my marker lines here, and I've got my marker line here. You guys probably can't see. We'll align that guy up there. All right, and just like that, we have all our marks lined up. This still has some dancing room, just like a clutch normally would, right? So we just got to make sure that that alignment tool pulls in and out. Oh, I'm spinning it. It shouldn't matter at this point, but I'm going to keep all those lined up. And now I'm going to grab this guy, line it up with the same mark. And then I've got a bunch of bolts, and it came with the torque pattern here. So that'll be fun. All right, so since I have 18 bolts I need to tighten, I went ahead and marked, as you can see, it's kind of crazy, but I went ahead and marked just so I could kind of tell. I got the 1 o'clock position, the 6 o'clock position, and then it wasn't evenly split to do a 3 and a 6, so I just did 2 bolts, not marked, marked, not marked, marked, not marked, marked, and so on. So now we have 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and 5th sequence. So that's a little bit confusing. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna suck these all down in this order, nice and slowly. Make sure that the alignment tool slides in and out smooth every time. And then once it's all sucked down, then I'll go ahead and torque it to spec. I think that's what it wants me to do, but it's a little bit confusing, so we'll just go nice and easy here. All right, so I sucked down all the bolts all evenly, very slow process. And then I torqued them all in the sequence to 13 foot-pounds, just like it tells me to. And I slid this in and out periodically to make sure it engages in and out nice and smooth. So ideally that should line up well with this. So now the next part is going to be the internal slave cylinder setup. So let me get set up for that. So let's get our measurement here. We'll use this as a straight edge right across there, and we will go right to the edge of the clutch fingers. Alright, I had some difficulties, but from the bell housing, from the inside of the bell housing to the tip of the fingers, had about 4.340. Alright, so now let's see if I can get an accurate reading here. Using this guy, we'll make sure we go straight across just like we did before. Alright, you guys fell over, but I had 4.340 on the engine side. That I won't have to remeasure, that's going to stay the same. Then I had 3.920. So if we go 4.340 minus 3.920, we have 0.42. Alright, so I measured out some shims. And then now my number is 4.196. So we'll take 4.340 minus 4.196. Yeah, we had 4.340 roughly on the bell housing on the engine. And right now with the current shims, we're at 4.196. That leaves us at 0.144. And drift motion spec is 0.65 to like 15 thousandths or something small. So I think we might change that just a little bit so we have just a little like more in the middle. Alright, so with the current setup, measured 4 1/4, which leaves us with 0.09, and the spec is between 0.165 and 0.015. So this puts us like right in the middle. So I'm going to double check my measurements one more time, but I think this is the ticket right here. Naturally, things did not go quite smooth. The plastic clutch alignment tool that they came with didn't even fit the one that I already had. So things did not line up when I went to put the clutch in, but I loosened all 18 of those bolts on the clutch cover again, grabbed my old R154 input shaft, redid the whole torque spec and all that rigmarole, and then the train just slid right in. Everything's happy, everything's perfect. It's mostly bolted up besides those 4 bottom ones, but it's a work night, and I think I'm gonna call it here. Made pretty good progress. So the next step is obviously hooking it up to the stand. Oh, I forgot. I did hook up the clutch lines. So like this is the bleeder for the slave, and then this is obviously gonna go to the master. I'm hooked. This is obviously gonna go to the master cylinder. But I'm gonna need to do some vacuum hose on the outsides of these, just so they don't chafe through on this metal corner here. But yeah, so do that. Put those lower bolts in the bell housing, put it in the car, hook everything back up. Shouldn't be too bad. Lining everything up here and getting clearances was the worst part for sure. So yeah, that's it for tonight. We'll pick up on this probably, it's Thursday night now. We'll probably pick up on this again Saturday, because tomorrow night is a drift event at the track. Obviously I won't be driving, but I'm gonna go support the boys. So see you guys Saturday morning. All right, as promised, it is Saturday morning. We're about to put this back in the car. Probably won't film a whole lot of it. I've made videos putting it in already. So yeah, I'll just take you guys along as, I don't know, maybe something exciting happens. We'll see. All right, so while I got it up in the air, I put a rubber vacuum hose on here where it passes through where the slave used to go, just to keep it from chafing and stuff. Put the bell housing side covers on. Got the hood lifted up higher. So I'm gonna drop this thing right on in there. All right, got the engine down on the pedestals. The bolts are started, so I just gotta get underneath, start the bolts on the trans mount, tighten that up, and then I'll do the engine mounts and then hook everything up. Whew, yeah, things are going good. I'm watching a little bit of F1 qualifying while working, so just hanging out. Nice, easy Saturday. I figured I'd bring you guys in for another update. Engine's bolted in, the drive shaft's in, the clutch is hooked up. We have a pedal. It's bled, I'm pretty sure. We'll make sure when you know, driving. Probably need to adjust the engagement a little bit of the pedal. But I think that much back is done. I just need to put the radiator support on, put the radiator in, fans, hook up the hoses, hook up the charge pipes, and fill it with coolant, as well as I'm going to do an oil change while I'm here. And yeah, so things are coming together. I'm going to keep plugging away. All right, I am back with an update. Car pulled itself out of the garage. I didn't even have to adjust the clutch pedal. It felt amazing. It's like right where I want it to be. Got the Home Depot lip on the new bumper. The rattle can paint match isn't exact, but that's what I did my over fenders in, so it matches pretty well. I didn't wet sand or buff, so it's obviously pretty orange peely coming out of a spray can. But look at all the extra airflow I get with the turbo A duct. So yeah, the old Supra is back together. Time for some clutch break-in, because that's an expensive clutch and I don't want to just beat on it right off the bat. I want to treat it right. So I think I'm gonna test drive it over to my buddy's house, pick up some parts, and then maybe come back and clean it. Maybe I'll clean it first. Haven't really decided. But yeah, so Supra's back in action, clutch is done, and I'll keep you guys updated on how I like the twin disc. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one.